coming to AnimalCon. Mind introducing yourself and telling us the name of your channel?
Hello, my name is Kelly. I run the channel KF Invertebrates. I'm more prevalent on TikTok, but if you like, you can also find me on Instagram, and I also post a little bit on YouTube as well.
So you say invertebrates, is it mostly tarantulas or other insects too?
Tarantulas is what I predominantly focus on. That's what I breed, and I try to make as many of them as I can. I'm also really big into mantises. I think those are really fun, and I have a fascination with isopods as well.
What are some of your favorite species to work with?
For tarantulas, I love Pamphobetus, Zenithus, anything ground-dwelling South American tarantulas, I'm really big into.
What got you started in keeping tarantulas?
I've always had a huge fascination for insects and bugs. Used to catch everything I could find outside. One day I went to a Petco, and they had a Mexican red knee tarantula about 2.5 inches. Being a child, my mind was blown because I'd never seen a spider with that kind of girth and size and color. Connecticut has crazy animal laws, and it got really bad. At that time, a lady got hurt by a chimpanzee, and all our exotic animals got ripped out of Petco. I begged my family for that tarantula, and it happened during that same week. So I'm begging them for a week to get the animal, come back, I never got my tarantula. 10 years later, I'm on Craigslist. Someone says they have some curly hair tarantulas, and it was history.
What made you realize that you could make a career out of it?
I've been doing this full time for about 6 years. Tarantulas are animals that can live in very small environments. They don't require any lighting or heating, and some of them can drop to very low temperatures in the 50s or even 40 sometimes. They gain value as they grow, so a $30 tarantula can turn to a $300 tarantula. And then they have egg sacs that can contain hundreds of spiderlings. So you can do the math that it can be a profitable business. Some of the more expensive ones are much harder to breed or even acquire. So that's just something to think about, but it's possible. If you do want to be in the animal trade, I think anyone can find their little niche.
A lot of the invertebrates that you work with, mantids and tarantulas, have the impression of being difficult to breed in the sense that they kind of can be aggressive at that time. Like, how do you work with them and how do you figure that out?
It's all, I feel, just like part of nature. Like, the tarantula is gonna have to eat that male. Sometimes in the wild, there's no food all year round. They have a rainy season, the food comes out, the males comes out, they eat and they hunker down, they conserve energy. So maybe I just have a little bit more understanding with the tarantulas. I just know it's just part of it, you know. The tarantula is that male might die, but his babies are gonna live on to the next generation.
In closing, do you have advice for people looking to get into invertebrates?
If I could give any advice, I know there's a lot of beautiful new species coming in all the time. You guys see the ghost mantises, the Typhlochenia celadonias, all these expensive, rare, beautiful insects. Try to start off with something that's sustainable and that's already here. There's a lot of species that are great and beautiful, and there's plenty of them, but when you try to go after those new species, I get it. It's like having a Rolls Royce or a new retro Jordan. You want to have the best of the best, but sometimes these animals need to be established first. So please try to go for something that's already prevalent in the hobby, and let the breeders handle the new stuff.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.